Om Shanti. It is interesting how in the scriptures the Karam Kshetra and the Kurukshetra are the same thing. So you see that today Baba tells us that you are you are on an unlimited battlefield. And when you are on a battlefield, it's very interesting that you cannot have the option of not being on the battlefield, because you're already on the battlefield. And I was just thinking, you say that in case there is a physical situation and there is a battle or there is a war in a country, then the people involved, at least the army people, they don't have any choice but to fight. So you have only two choices: you be the brave one, you fight, or you be the coward and you run away. But if you run away, then you never win. So if you fight, you may win, you may lose, but if you run away, you will definitely not win. So Baba today says that we are on a different kind of a battlefield. It's the soul is on the battlefield, and you so see that there is always this pull of Maya. Whether we like it, not like it, want it, not want it, there is always this pull of Maya. And until we came to Baba, we were not fighting with Maya because we were surrendered to Maya. So we were with the enemy. But now we know Baba, we know that Maya is the enemy. So there is Baba and there is Maya. And so we are on a battlefield. And there are only two choices. You see, you run away like a coward, because you see that when you're in the body, when you're with people, when you are in work, when you are in worldly situations, there is always so many triggers and waves of emotions and negative emotions. And you see that negative emotions cannot be discerned through feelings, because negative emotions sometimes feel very good, because we have been so friendly towards negative emotions. For example, lust or attachment or greed feels very good. So people say daydreaming feels very good to them. So Baba says that a recognition of the enemy becomes very difficult, because you have been friends with the enemy for so long that sometimes the enemy doesn't feel like the enemy. So we are always in this flux of emotions, and that is Maya. So Maya takes us away from this super sensuous state of stable happiness and peace and the spiritual love, to sometimes anger or feelings of lust or attachment or fear or desire or emptiness or boredom. And then there are so many other, jealousy, there are so many feelings that Maya makes us just feel, and just makes us busy in that. And then Baba says, then when you are under those feelings, under the influence of those feelings, under the influence of those emotions, which now you recognize through Gyan that they are negative. So earlier you thought attachment is good. When you're feeling attached, then you're having a very romantic experience and it's a very beautiful experience. And then you thought that you could connect to the most beautiful songs at that time. Or when you felt sad, you felt like, you are feeling a great emotion, because people wallow in self-pity and in sadness also most of the time, and they listen to sad songs, and so all of that we were doing earlier. But now we are very cognizant of the fact that this is Maya. And what does Maya do? The most important thing that Maya does is waste your time and thought. And the second thing is, it makes you react. It makes you do vikarma under its influence. So when we are caught up in these negative emotions of maybe fear, anger, attachment, lust, then we create vikarma. So acting under the influence of vices creates vikarma. And even if we don't act, then we are not doing what we are supposed to do in Sangam Yoga. So then that is wasting your time and thought. And so Baba says that you always are on a battlefield, because these emotions keep attacking you all the time. And then what you have to do is, you can either be a coward, and sometimes when we realize that these emotions are creating vikarma, or they are influencing me towards negative action, then you may feel motivated to just leave everything and run. Just like the sannyasis. So when the sannyasis realize that lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed is not good for their karmic journey, and then when they stay in the household and go for work, then all of these feelings and these emotions, they come up, and then they don't allow them to maintain a constant state of peace or happiness, and then they make them do actions which are negative actions. So what they decided is run away. So, but the thing is, if you run away, the story doesn't end there, because then you experience the same emotions with animals. You will experience the same emotions in the jungle. So Baba says, what you have to do is, you don't have to be a coward and run away. You have to sit and fight with Maya. And for that, you need a lot of power of knowledge, power of purity, power of spiritual love, power of spiritual drishti, vision. You need all of that, and that I am giving you. But you have to have so much yoga with me that you are able to stay stable, stay sane, and do the action which you're supposed to do. So, even if you are in a relationship where the other person is constantly behaving in a manner which incites anger in you and disappointment in you, and makes you question, why are you with this person? If you run away, then you are in an uncomfortable situation today, and you will create an uncomfortable situation in another scenario with another person tomorrow. So what you do is, you find your peace in that whole chaos through yoga power. Because what I have understood is, the soul is beyond death, beyond any feelings of negativity. It is body consciousness that makes you feel those emotions. So when you sit there and you fight by accumulating enough yoga power, and this has got nothing to do with the person or the situation, you win over your own negative emotions, whether it is attachment or attraction or anger or aggressiveness or disappointment or jealousy. by drawing in the power of knowledge and purity and tolerance and packing up and withdrawing and every other, all the 8 powers that Baba has given you, or the virtues that Baba has given us. So this is how Baba describes the battlefield, and we are on the battlefield and we have to rise to the occasion and fight. And this is a different kind of fight. You have to accumulate spiritual power enough to win over whatever is there, which is triggering emotions which are negative inside of you. Because if Maya cannot waste your time and thought, and Maya cannot induce you to indulge in negative action of thought, word, and action, or body, mind, and wealth, if Maya is not able to do these 2 things, then you have won over Maya. So there are 2 things. You say something is a situation and something is a problem. So when the situation is not able to waste your time and thought, and it is not able to deviate you from your Sangam Yogi karma, and when the situation, whether it is a physical situation, financial situation, a relationship issue, something at work, whatever it is, if it is not able to deviate you from your Sangam Yogi duty, and if it is not able to incite you into creating negative action based on lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, then that situation is not your problem. It is there, but it is inconsequential, because you cannot stop it from being there, because it will be there until it is destined to be there. But then it's not your problem, so you don't mind even if it stays very long, or you are not wishing it away, or you are not waiting for it to change. Yes, so that is the scenario. So this is something about the battlefield that Baba teaches us. So, and also Baba says that never forget that you are the winner every kalpa. So you will emerge as someone who will win this battle over Maya, because Baba is with you. So if you never forget who is your director or who is your commander, then you will never lose. And also, these vices, if you have donated them and you don't take them back, then if you are not under the influence of vices, then you can win over every emotion, every wave that Maya ignites in you, and you can silence it with the power of yoga. And then today Baba talks about 3 things: bondages of karma. So Baba says there are bondages of sorrow, there are relationships of happiness, and then the 3rd thing Baba talks about is godly relationship. So let's understand these 3 things. So first is bondages of sorrow, which is called karam bandhan in Hindi. So what is bondage of sorrow? So you see that right now every relationship that we have is a bondage of sorrow, whether it is with the body, with other souls, with work, with money. Yes, because everything is a source of sorrow. If you see today, people are unhappy because of their bodies, because of relationships, they have money worries, and situations around them are a cause of sorrow. And so this is the bondage of sorrow we are in. And let me ask you a simple question. Can a relationship trouble you if you are not attached? Can a relationship trouble you if you're not attached? No. Can your body trouble you if you're not attached? No. Can money trouble you if you're not greedy? No. Can other people's behavior have an influence on you if you have no ego? No. So you see that these bondages of sorrow and our sanskars are related. So because we have done karma based on vices, so our sanskars are vicious, and therefore these body, relationships, money, everything has become a source of sorrow. Now I will tell you one interesting thing. There is this one sister, and when she has no help, she complains about being not having help and doing everything on her own. And when she has help, she complains about privacy. So she says that when there are people working in the house, I feel my privacy is compromised. And when there is nobody working in the house, then I have to do all the work, and that's a problem. So I said, see, if you have come to me looking for a magic wand through which I can make the work just disappear, that's not happening. So there is work. Either you do it yourself or you hire somebody. So you have to deal with either of the situations. And I find it very interesting. I usually think about conducting a class on the third option. So, we are all fixated with the third option, which doesn't exist. So, we always are the problem of our life is the third option, which doesn't exist. So, we don't want to. So, have you seen those games where you're given two options and you want to choose the third? So there are only two options you're given. You can't choose the third. So this is how we are troubling ourselves. So, when you have, when there is money, you are attached to it. When there is no money, you are complaining about it. When there is money, you are creating vikarma because of because you think that you're rich, and then you're putting down other people. And then when there is no money, you are complaining. So either ways, this karmic bondage, this bondage of sorrow is always increasing. Because when you're feeling happy, you are inviting trouble. When you're feeling happy, you are going on doing vikarma. Yes, when the relationship is great, then you engage in lust and attachment. And that is vikarma. And then when the relationship gets sour, which it is going to get because there is vikarma involved in the relationship, then you complain about it and you get angry. So we are always indulging in some vice or the other. So this is what bondage of sorrow means. Bondage of sorrow means when that situation looks great to you, then you are doing something that is vikarma. And when that situation doesn't look okay to you, also you are doing vikarma. So when you feel you have great physical health, what do? You meditate? No. You go and do all sorts of wrong things. So, these days people go to rehab, and then once they start feeling better, then they start indulging in the same vice. Same thing again. I remember there was this one brother, he got his liver transplanted, and when he was in bad shape because of the liver issue, he was crying. He said, I do toba toba, and I will never touch alcohol, and if Baba just makes me well this time, everything, I will change my life. And then somebody who was a close relative, they donated the liver, and then he got treated, and the moment he felt good, he started drinking again. So I told him, I don't understand whether I should even wish for your wellness. Because when you're ill, you are creating vibrations of sadness and sorrow. And when you're well, you are creating karma of, indulging in alcohol. So we are in a situation where, when apparently to me the situation is okay, I'm creating vikarma, and when the situation is not okay, also I'm creating vikarma. So this is the beautiful paradox we are in. And Baba says this is what bondage of sorrow means. So we are in such a situation that, although we don't understand, people, at least, when we have become Brahmins, we are in a little better position. But generally, people don't understand that anything they do under the influence of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, jealousy, fear, everything is creating vikarma. And you are under the influence of one or the other emotion always. So this body, these relationships, these money, everything, when you are interacting with them, you are always creating vikarma. Then Baba says, in Satyug, there is relationships of happiness. So in Satyug, so you understood bondage of sorrow. Now, what is relationships of happiness? They exist in Satyug. And in that relationships of happiness, which Baba calls Sukh ke Sambandh. It's not Bandhan, it is Sambandh. And in that relationship of happiness, we never create vikarma. So when things are great, so we are not attached, and things don't get less than great, because we are never creating vikarma when things are great. Yes, so, and it's interesting that in Kali Yuga it is said, God, give me sorrow, because then I will remember you more. But then you will remember God with sorrow, and that will also make you more sorrowful. And so in Kali Yuga it is assumed that as soon as your sorrow is removed, you will start doing all kinds of wrong things. So, but in Satyug, even when the body is great, you are not misusing or abusing the body, or abusing the relationships, or abusing your money, or abusing your position. So that is why it is a relationship of happiness, not because it gives happiness, but because you don't create vikarma in that relationship. Because the moment you start creating vikarma, it is a relationship of sorrow. So that is the relationship in Satyug. Now, how do we move from this Karam Bandhan to Karam Sambandh? So the method that Baba teaches us is godly relationships. Godly relationships. And Baba says that you don't have to leave your karam bandhan. So have you heard that when Surdas realized that the eyes are seeing evil, he just blinded himself. So he just blinded himself because he thought that's a good idea, because if he is blind, then he will not see evil. So Baba says that you don't have to do that. It's not like if you the kill the people around you, or you kill your body, or just give away all your money, then that is the way to come out of this bondage of sorrow. Baba says what you do is you change your attitude towards all of these. You change your attitude towards your body, your relationships, the money that you have, and change it into a godly relationship. So the problem is I and mine. Yes, the whole problem is mine, my body, my relationships, my money, my position. So Baba says you change it into a godly relationship where this is Baba's, and that will insulate you from feeling creating these vicious thoughts and vicious feelings towards every relationship. So when you say my wife, my husband, you think you have a right over their body. But when you know that this is Baba's child, and Baba has told us that being pure and encouraging others to be pure is our duty. So then your drishti towards your spouse changes. Yes. Do you look at your spouse as an agent of world transformation? Do you look at your spouse as an agent of world transformation? Somebody who can change the world. Yes, try thinking on these lines, because Baba looks at them like that. Baba is looking at that spouse as an agent of world transformation, and it is purity that gives them that power. And if you're messing up with their purity, then what you're doing is damaging Baba's instrument. And that is such a big sin. So Baba says just look at everyone and everything as belonging to Baba. And Baba is looking at everyone as an agent of transformation. He's looking at children, he's looking at, and you see, when Baba looks at somebody as an agent of transformation, he empowers them. He has such a such a high drishti for that soul. He looks at them with, regard and respect, and encourages them to be their best. And that's what we need to do in all our relationships. And when I came into Gyan, I saw one brother, and every time, a child walked into the center, he would always say that, this is going to be the next, person to take care of the seva, and if there is a kanya, so, she's going to sit on the gaddi tomorrow and speak murli. And then I used to say, why do you have such lofty, expectations from a person just walking into the center? So he gave me a very nice answer. He said, because my Baba thinks so. When Baba looks at a child, he doesn't think this is a one-day child. He's just come. No, he's very new. No, Baba looks at every child. Baba, whenever you listen to all the experiences of seniors, they will tell you Baba spoke the same language to everyone. Everybody, Baba used to talk about the same thing. So Baba has such, high drishti, this elevated drishti for everybody. So how can I have any other drishti for any child of Baba? So when you are in a godly relationship, you see like God, you think like God, and then you understand that when Baba looks at this soul, he looks at that soul as a pure, elevated, divine soul, as an agent of transformation who needs to be taken care of and needs to be motivated and encouraged to, pay attention to their purity and their spiritual stage so that they can be an agent of transformation. So that's the relationship you have with everyone around you. That is a godly relationship. A godly relationship is having a relationship which is similar to that which God has with that soul. And I'm God's manager, so I also have the same relationship. And then the second thing is, you see, the body. How does Baba look at the body? So Baba always says that this body is valuable. This body is most valuable because this is the only body through which you earn 21 births of, credit. So Baba says this is a Sangam Yugi body, and Sangam Yugi body is very valuable. And I remember there was this one cut on my finger, and it was bad. And then there was this one senior brother from Madhuban who was there in the center at that time, and then he said, "What did you do with that finger?" So I said, "It's okay, don't care. It's anyways a Kalyugi body, so it's okay." So then he said, "No, Benji, not Kalyugi body, it's a Sangam Yugi body." Never forget that. This hand has to do so much seva. How can you not take care of it? So you have to take care of everything because this is a Sangam Yugi body. And when you look at your body as a Sangam Yugi body, what you understand is the value of the balance of taking care and using it. So let me tell you what happens is, when you think this is my body, either you take too much care and never use it. Have you seen those people who are spending 8 hours in the gym and then sleeping their day off? So I asked, so there are these Baba's children also who come and then they do this, gym all day and do nothing else. And then I asked them, why are you building your body? What is the purpose? So some people think that physical health is the aim. And some people don't care. So there are two extremes. Either you just take care or you don't take care. But Baba says, when you understand that this body is an instrument to earn Sangam Yugi income, which is, the punya karma that you can do through the body, then you have a balance of taking care and using it. So you're not taking care of the body to just stay healthy. Stay healthy for what? That's the question. So stay healthy is very important, but for what is the most important next question. So this is how you are not attached to the body, you're using it. So Baba says, haddi haddi seva. So you're using it to the maximum, but you're also taking equal care of it, because you want to keep using it to the maximum until the end. Yes, and so we are not sannyasis, we are Rajyogis. We take care of the body and we also make sure that that taking care pays off. So this is with the body, the relationship you have, the godly relationship with the body. This is the relationship you have with the body when you look at your body like Baba looks at your body. When you look at the money, you understand that the money has to be earned not through corruption. B, it has to be spent wisely. So Baba says that the money is an instrument for Yajna Seva. So you have to earn it through pure methods and then spend it on Seva. And until you are able to take care of these two things, earn as much as you can and spend as much as you can in Seva. Baba says it's not money that puts you into bondage. When money is earned through methods which are unfair and spent on things that are not demanding, not good karma, then that money becomes a problem. So Baba says how much of money you should earn is not the problem. The problem is how you earn it and how you spend it. So that's the attitude you have to have with the money. And when you have a position, you understand that that position is given by you to Baba. And you are really not aware what Baba can raise you to. So I don't know whether I should give this example, but you see, when Baba knows that the child is honest, he will also put you in the position of being the President of India. So that you can serve Baba's task. So Baba says, your position I will raise, don't worry. But you must understand what your position is for, because your position is already very high. You are God's child. So you don't need a position for that, for man shan or for recognition. But when you have an honest heart, I can give you any position through which you can do my work. So when you understand that I am Baba's trusty child and I'm here to do Baba's work, then Baba will put you in a position where you have the authority also to get work done. So Baba says that this is how you look at all the relationships that you have, change them into godly relationships, and then all the, that trap of vikarma that you were caught in will finish. And then the karmic bondages will finish, and then you will go to a place where you will have relationships of happiness, karam sambandh. And let me tell you, when you change your attitude towards your body doesn't change its attitude towards you. When you change your attitude towards your relationships, they don't change their attitude towards you. So you have to deal with this paradox until it shifts, and that dealing is called the settlement of old karmic accounts. So you are looking at them as an agent of change, but they are looking at you as a mad person who has suddenly started going to some bizarre place and getting these ideas. And then maintaining your drishti until their drishti changes. This is the challenge, and this is what you call the settlement of karmic account. Okay, so you hold on to your attitude until their attitude changes. So Baba said, so there is a comment that the relationships of happiness, we will feel this here only right before leaving Kali Yuga, means last stage. Last stage, what? I am already feeling it. So you can feel it as long as you like. So as when you create it, you start feeling it. And I really tell you, I am not waiting for Satyug. I am having the best time of my life. I really feel that I am experiencing happiness in every karma that I do. You know, waking up is joy, talking is joy, connecting is joy, working is joy, everything is joy. So when you start following Srimad, you are not waiting for Satyug. Satyug is a bonus. Okay? Om Shanti.